Perfect, can see it now. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. So today, so a little bit about me. So I'm Lisiane Ndong. So I'm currently working at Search Metrics. I'm a client success manager, make the most of the search data to make the best business decision. So I would like to start here with the main challenges that content marketer tend to face. So as we all know, we have the challenge of creating engaging content, measuring the return on investment of our content, and also producing content which is engaging, and also knowing how to use data with the best way. So based on these challenges, when we create content is to produce engaging content of high quality, and that obviously bring value to our audience. So that's the reason why content using data for the content creation is key, because when you use data, you're able to know more about your audience. You can make a better strategic decision, and on top of that, you will know and meet your customer needs depending on the buying stages. So the 6 steps are really based, if you look at different steps that a content creator go through by incorporating data within these different steps. It's all you to really make sure that your content is really aligned with what your target audience wants. So based on your marketing objectives, whether it's branding, traffic, sales, conversion, etc., the 6 steps is to use data for the research, to identify the right topic, to analyze the user intent, to create content, distribute content, and analyze the content performance. So now we're going to look at the different steps in details. So step 1 is research. So when you do the research, you do the research of your target audience. So your goal more about your target audience and know their needs and issues. So here you have is more what I would call professional women. And on the right side is the woman I will call fashionista. So these 2 women are looking for dresses. However, they will have different needs. So first of all, it's important to look at what kind of search they will do based on the keyword that they will tend to research online. So here for the work dress, we can see when you look at the keyword and look at the different cluster around the keyword, we can see that there is a difference between someone looking for work dresses and someone looking for day dress. Also, question they will ask, if you look at people also work for work dress, the question you will ask will be like how many dresses you should have, how to look professional, and how to, for example, have the number of jacket that you need to have. So when you look at the woman into the day dress, more the fashionista, she will be more concerned about what to wear depending of the day, of the time of the day. She will ask what's the kind of things that she need to take into account if she wants to look comfortable. So also, once you have look at your customers, so something that I would like to emphasize is to really to make sure that you use the platform like we have here when you are able to make sure that you select the right topic based on the search volume. So once you have the look at your target audience, you will then look at the competitor. So the competitor is really making sure that you look at the type of topic that the competitor are discussing, the type of content. And once you gathered different information about your competitor, is then your time to develop some content ideas around this keyword or topic. And then you can decide to create similar content or doing something different, but the end goal is to match your consumer needs. So to do that, You could start with looking at Google search, so looking at the images that other competitors are using, looking at the actual organic position, looking at the different URLs, so that give you an idea of how competitive is a specific keyword. And then what you could do as well is to use a little bit more data. In this case, we are using search metrics in this case, but you could use other tools to do that. So something which is really important is to do what we call gap analysis. By doing a gap analysis, you're able to look at the type of topic that your competitors are using for this specific topic. For example, here we are about dresses, so you need to look at what type of keywords your competitor are using, and to compare with the keyword that you are using, so that you can see where there is a gap between the keyword that your competitor are using and the keyword that you are using. And the benefit with that is you will be able to compare URL to URL instead of just comparing the whole domain. Something that you could do as well is to look at the keyword comparison, looking at based on the specific topic, which is work dress in this instance. You can compare the specific keyword that your competitor is using. You can compare. You can have details about the search keyword of a high search volume. Therefore, there might be a market opportunity for you. And then once you've looked at the competitors, once you look at your target audience, once you know more about your target audience needs, it's now step 2 is to identify the right topic for your target group. So something that we use is to look at, based on the overall theme, how relevant, how much opportunity you could find from a specific topic. In this instance, you can look for clothes women. So therefore, you might decide to focus on the topic and the theme that bring the more search volume. As you can see, we are still into the work dress. However, depending on the topic, you will see more, you will have more volume in terms of search. And then also the seasonality. So here, as we know, seasonality is really important, but looking at the search volume based on the seasonality, you can then plan your content accordingly and make sure that, for example, here in winter, we have more work dress. So therefore, you will make sure that the content about work dress will be ready for winter, compared to day dresses will be more maybe at a different period of the year. And then once you have looked at the topic specifically, so here what we've seen earlier, the topic about work dress has more search volume, but you also have subcategories, I would call. So therefore you can see the volume. For example, in this time, you can see that work dress in general provide a lot of search volume, but black dress has more search volume than, for example, gray dresses. So the implication for you is to make sure that you create content about black dress. However, you can also decide to focus on a long tail type of keyword because you feel like there might be a lot of competition for work dress. So really something that is important is to look at the search volume, but also the relevance, as you can see on the right column. And that's something that as search metrics, we are really focusing on, because we want to make sure that the keywords we pick are relevant. So once you've analyzed your topic, it's now time to analyze the user intent. The user intent is, as we know, once the consumer makes a search online, they have a specific intention. So we have informational, navigational, and transactional. So informational is really when the consumer wants to know something. So he's looking for some information. When it's about navigational, he wants to go somewhere. And transactional, he wants to do something. So a little bit more details on each category. So informational, that's what the consumer would type a keyword like how to do something, what or who or where. So that's the kind of key keyword combination that you know that the consumer wants to get some information. Navigational is when the consumer wants to go to another page. That's the kind of thing where on Google, the consumer will type a brand name, might type Amazon from a Google search or ASOS. So you know that it's navigational. And then transactional is when the consumer wants to make a purchase. Therefore, the keyword, the combination that the consumer will make will be more buying, purchase, etc. So once you have this information, it's really important for you to spot the intention of your consumer. So once you have the intention, you know that some keywords left side, you can see that informational term keyword are more in blue, and you have in transactional, it's more in green. So as you can see, within the same topic, you will have different search intent. And on top of that, you will see, depending on the search intent, you'll have different search volumes. So the implication for you is to know what you want to focus on. And then as you can see, the actual search intent is really linked to the user journey. Of someone who wants to buy a dress. Sorry, I like fashion tend to be here as a topic to discuss. So if the user is into awareness, this means usually is into informational in terms of search intent. If it's into consideration, it will be more navigational as intent, and purchase can be more on transactional. Obviously, there might be some variation, but in general, we tend to see that that's the way it tends to be. So within the awareness, the user search for a new dress for work. So the type of search query that you will make will be more like smart dress, work dress for winter. It will be more general type of search query. Once into consideration, that's where the user, the consumer, is comparing. You want to compare two different dresses. You want to get review of the best dresses. So therefore, that will be more navigational. And within the purchase, that's where we will have search query, more fun for dresses, buying dresses, etc. And then you can see the type of query will be more in details in terms of the product color, for example. And once you have spotted the search query, the buyer journey, and then the search intent, that's where you're ready to create the content. So here is how, once you are clear about the search intent, you can then decide the type of content. So when the user is looking for information, informational search intent, so therefore the content format could be article, images, because you know that your goal within this phase is where the consumer is into awareness, is looking for a product, but is not really clear on what he wants. So you have to make sure that the content you create is very informational. And in terms of consideration, you know that at that stage, the consumer is looking for different options, is comparing, go to another website to make some comparison. So therefore, in terms of content, it's good to make sure that when you search online, it comes to product pages, event page, or webinar, because at that stage you want to be convinced into different options available in the market. So in terms of format, you can create video, images, but your goal here is to make sure that you help the consumer to actually take a decision. So, and then you have the last stage, which is purchase. Here, the consumer is ready to make a purchase. He has, as I would say, his debit card in his hand. So therefore, in terms of content type, will be product pages, and also more deeper into products. That you provide him product detail page. And in terms of content format, be images, video, and even map. We know that map for example, an e-commerce site which has also a physical store is important nowadays to have a map. So as you can see, when you decide to create content, you really have to make sure that you take into account the search intent of the user, and also we've seen more and more that Google is really taking this kind of information into account when it actually provides search results. So once you have created your content, you can see, for example, here's an example of the research, the results you could find when it's informational, navigation, and transactional. As you can see here, when I type smart work dress, I have a different result compared to when I just type work dress ASOS, that would be more navigational. Buy work blue dress, I would have different type of results. As you can see, it's really important for you as a content creator to make sure that you create your content based on the search intent. And then something that we do at Psychometrics, and I'm sure you could find it somewhere else, but in our case, once you get to that stage, when you are clear about the type of topic you want to talk about, you are clear about the keyword you want to use, the next step, what we do is you have the possibility that based on the topic, provide you the must-have keywords. So we're telling you based on the market, based on the different competitor, we are telling you what kind of keyword you need to have within your text, within your article, and we also provide you the frequency, or meaning how often you need to use a specific keyword, and then we can also give you a content score. So I will show you an example now, how it works. Here, the topic was work dress, and then the platform provided us some keywords like we should have. And then once I've typed the article, I'm able to then see the keywords that are relevant and also the frequency. As you can see, for example, here, dresses, I've been suggested to write it 10 times. I've wrote it only 4 times. And it's really good because these metrics, these recommendation are really based on the data by comparing the competitor. And obviously, once you use this topic, use this keyword within your title tag and meta. And then step 5 is about distributing your content. So at that stage is really making sure you distribute your content on the different channels, and the key thing here is to make sure that you include this keyword into your social media post title, the blog post title, the subject line of your email, and also the image and the video, because you've seen that when you've picked specific keyword, you know that there is a search volume, therefore you have to make sure that you actually use this keyword within different marketing channel. And something that as well is important is once you know that a keyword is searched, by using it within the subject line on the email, you know that that's the kind of queries that your user, the consumer is looking for. And then step 6 is to analyze your content performance. So analyzing your content performance is to answer the return on investment challenge that we discussed earlier. It's really making sure that you monitor your content daily, weekly, and also when you look at your content, you make sure that you track the right metrics, I would say, depending on the type of content. And as I say on the right side, always monitor the market trend, because everything is based on the market trends, based on what the consumer wants. And here, just a little summary as we discussed. So really, when you to create a data-driven content strategy, step 1, do some research of your target audience and your competitor. Step 2, identify the right topics based on seasonality, search volume, relevancy, and then analyze your user intent by making sure that your buyer journey is linked and there is a relation with your user intent. And step 4, create content. And step 5, distribute your content. Step 6, analyze the content performance. Thank you very much. And as I say, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure.